Pilot Lieutenant Colonel Raymond E. Yalding and RSO Lieutenant Colonel Joseph T. J.T. Vida, the 6th of March, 1990. Pilot Lieutenant Colonel Ed Yalding and RSO Lt. Colonel Joe Vida on the 6th of March 1990, the last SR-71 senior Crown flight when the SR-71 was retired in 1990. One Blackbird was flown from its birthplace at USAF Plant 42 in Palmdale, California, to Goon exhibit at what is now the Smithsonian Institution's Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center in Chantilly, Virginia. On the 6th of March, 1990, Lieutenant Colonel Raymond E. Yalding and Lieutenant Colonel Joseph T. Vida piloted SR-71's /N61 to 7,972 on its final senior Crown flight and set 4 new speed records in the process. Los Angeles, California, to Washington, D.C., distance 2,299.7 miles. 3,701.0 kilometers, average speed 2,144.8 miles per hour, 3,451.7 kilometers per hour, and an elapsed time of 64 minutes 20 seconds. 131, 133. West Coast to East Coast, distance 2,404 miles. 3,869 kilometers, average speed 2,124.5 miles per hour, 3,419.1 kilometers per hour, and an elapsed time of 67 minutes 54 seconds. Kansas City, Missouri, to Washington, D.C., distance 942 miles, 1,516 kilometers, average speed 2,176 miles per hour, 3,502 kilometers per hour, and an elapsed time of 25 minutes 59 seconds. St. Louis, Missouri, to Cincinnati, Ohio, distance 311.4 miles, 501.1 kilometers, average speed 2,189.9 miles per hour, 3,524.3 kilometers per hour, and an elapsed time of 8 minutes 32 seconds. These 4 speed records were accepted by the National Aeronautic Association, NA, the recognized body for aviation records in the United States. 134. Additionally, Air and Space Forward/Smithsonian reported that the USAF clocked the SR-71 at one point in its flight reaching 2,242.48 miles per hour, 3,608.92 kilometers per hour. 135. After the Los Angeles-Washington flight, on the 6th of March, 1990, Senator John Glenn addressed the United States Senate, chastising the Department of Defense for not using the SR-71 to its full potential. Mr. President, the termination of the SR-71 was a grave mistake and could place our nation at a serious disadvantage in the event of a future crisis. Yesterday's historic transcontinental flight was a sad memorial to our short-sighted policy in strategic aerial reconnaissance. 136. Successor. Speculation existed regarding a replacement for the SR-71, including a rumored aircraft codenamed Aurora. The limitations of reconnaissance satellites, which take up to 24 hours to arrive in the proper orbit to photograph a particular target, make them slower to respond to demand than reconnaissance planes. Flyover orbit of spy satellites may also be predicted and can allow assets to be hidden when the satellite passes, a drawback not shared by aircraft. Thus, there are doubts that the US has abandoned the concept of spy planes to complement reconnaissance satellites. 137. Unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, are also used for aerial reconnaissance in the 21st century. being able to overfly hostile territory without putting human pilots at risk, as well as being smaller and harder to detect than manned aircraft. On the 1st of November, 2013, media outlets reported that Skunk Works has been working on an unmanned reconnaissance airplane it has named SR-72, which would fly twice as fast as the SR-71, at Mach 6. 138, 139. However, the USAF is officially pursuing the Northrop Grumman RQ-180 UAV to assume the SR-71's strategic ISR role. 140 variants. SR-71B on display at the Air Zoo. SR-71A was the main production variant. SR-71B was a trainer variant. 141. SR-71C was a hybrid trainer. 142 aircraft composed of rear fuselage of the first YF-12O S/N60 to 6934, and forward fuselage from an SR-71 static test unit. The YF-12 had been wrecked in a 1966 landing accident. It has been reported as that this Blackbird was seemingly not quite straight and had a yaw at supersonic speeds. 143, however, this was caused by a misaligned petard tube reporting a 4 degrees yaw that was not actually present. It was soon corrected and then flew normally. 142, 144, it was nicknamed the Bastard. 145, 146. Operators: United States Air Force, 147, 148, 149. Air Force Systems Command, Air Force Flight Test Center, Edwards, AFB, California. 4786 TH Test Squadron, 1965-1970. SR-71 Flight Test Group, 1970-1990. Strategic Air Command. 9th Strategic Reconnaissance Wing, Beale, AFB, California. 1st Strategic Reconnaissance Squadron, 1966-1990-99. TH Strategic Reconnaissance Squadron, 1966-1971. Detachment 1, Kadena Air Base, Japan, 1968-1990. Detachment 4, RAF Mildenhall, England, 1976-1990. Air Combat Command Detachment 2, 9th Reconnaissance Wing, Edwards, AFB, California, 1995-1997. Forward operating locations at Eielson, AFB, Alaska; Griffiths, AFB, New York; Seymour Johnson, AFB, North Carolina; Diego Garcia and Bodo, Norway, 1973-1990. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, 150. Dredon Flight Research Center, Edwards, AFB, California, 1991-1999. Accidents and Aircraft Disposition. SR-71 at Pima Air and Space Museum, Tucson, Arizona. A close-up of the SR-71B operated by NASA's Dredon Flight Research Center, Edwards, AFB, California. 12 SR-71s were lost and 1 pilot died in accidents during the aircraft's service career. 4, 5, 11 of these accidents happened between 1966 and 1972. SR-71 at the National Museum of United States Air Force. Detail of SR-71 at the Museum of Aviation, Robbins, AFB. List of SR-71 Blackbirds, AF. Serial number, model, location or fate. 617950. SR-71A lost, the 10th of January 196761-7951. SR-71A Pima Air and Space Museum, adjacent to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, Tucson, Arizona. Loaned to NASA as YF-12C-06937. 151, 61-7952 SR-71A lost in Mach 3 mid-air breakup near Tucumcari, New Mexico, 25 January 1966, 85, 152, 153, 61-7953 SR-71A lost, the 18th of December 1969, 154, 61-7954 SR-71A lost. The 11th of April 196961-7955 SR-71A Air Force Flight Test Center Museum, Edwards Air Force Base, California, 155, 61-7956 SR-71B Air Zoo, Kalamazoo, Michigan, ex-NASA 831, 156, 157, 61-7957 SR-71B lost, the 11th of January 196861-7958 SR-71A Museum of Aviation, Robbins Air Force Base Warner Robins, Georgia, 158, 61-7959 SR-71A Air Force Armament Museum, Eglin Air Force Base, Florida, 159, 61-7960 SR-71A Castle Air Museum at the former Castle Air Force Base, Atwater, California, 160, 61-7961 SR-71A Cosmosphere, Hutchinson, Kansas, 161. 61-7962 SR-71A American Air Museum in Britain, Imperial War Museum Duxford, Cambridgeshire, England, 162, 61-7963 SR-71A Beale Air Force Base, Marysville, California, 163, 61-7964 SR-71A Strategic Air Command and Aerospace Museum Ashland, Nebraska, 164, 61-7965 SR-71A lost, the 25th of October 1967-7966 SR-71A lost, the 13th of April 196761-7967 SR-71A Barksdale Air Force Base, Bossier City, Louisiana, 165, 61-7968 SR-71A Science Museum of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, 166. 61-7969 SR-71A lost, the 10th of May, 1970. 61-7970 SR-71A lost, the 17th of June 197061-7971 SR-71A Evergreen Aviation Museum, McMinnville, Oregon, 167. 61-7972 SR-71A Smithsonian Institution Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center, Washington Dulles International Airport, Chantilly, Virginia, 168, 61-7973 SR-71A Blackbird Air Park, Air Force Plant 42, Palmdale, California, 169. 61-7974 SR-71A lost, the 21st of April 1989-7975 SR-71A March Field Air Museum, March Air Reserve Base, former March AFB, Riverside, California, 170. 61-7976 SR-71A National Museum of the United States Air Force, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base near Dayton, Ohio, 171, 61-7977 SR-71A lost, the 10th of October, 1968. Cockpit section survived and located at the Seattle Museum of Flight. 172, 61-7978 SR-71A nicknamed Rapid Rabbit and wearing a Playboy bunny image as tail art. 173, wearing a black bunny logo on its tail. Lost, the 20th of July 1972, for 61-7979 SR-71A Lackland Air Force Base, San Antonio, Texas. 174, 61-7980 SR-71A Armstrong Flight Research Center, Edwards Air Force Base, California. 175, 61-7981 SR-71 Chill Aerospace Museum, Hill Air Force Base, Ogden, Utah, formerly YF-12 A-60-6934, 176. Some secondary references use incorrect 64 series aircraft serial numbers. For example, SR-71C 64 to 17981, 177. After completion of all USAF and NASA SR-71 operations at Edwards AFB, the SR-71 flight simulator was moved in July 2006 to the Frontiers of Flight Museum at Love Field Airport in Dallas, Texas. 178. Specifications, SR-71O. Data from Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, 179. General characteristics crew, 2. Pilot and Reconnaissance Systems Officer, RSO. Length, 107 feet 5 in, 32.74 m. Wingspan, 55 feet 7 in, 16.94 m. Height, 18 feet 6 in, 5.64 m. Wheel track, 16 feet 8 in, 5 m. Wheelbase, 37 feet 10 in, 12 m. Orthographically projected diagram of the SR-71 A Blackbird orthographically projected diagram of the SR-71 trainer model SR-71 epoxy asbestos composite areas wing area, 1,800 square feet, 170 square meters. Aspect ratio, 1.7. Empty weight, 67,500 pound. 30,617 kilograms. Gross weight, 152,000 pound, 68,946 kilograms. Max takeoff weight, 172,000 pound, 78,018 kilograms. Fuel capacity, 12,219.2 US gal. 10,174.6 imp gal, 46,255 L, in 6 tank groups, 9 tanks. Power plant, 2 Pratt & Whitney J58, JT11D20J or JT11D20K, afterburning turbojets, 25,000 lbf, 110 kN, thrust each. JT11D20J 32,500 lbf, 144.57 kN, wet, fitted inlet guider vans. JT11D20K 34,000 lbf, 151.24 kN, wet, 2-position inlet guider vans. Performance maximum speed, 1,910 kN. 2,200 miles per hour 3540 km forward/h, at 80,000 feet, 24,000 m. Maximum speed, Mach 3.3, N6. Ferry range, 2,824 mi, 3,250 mi 5 to 30 km. Service ceiling, 85,000 feet, 26,000 m. Rate of climb, 11,820 foot /min, 60.0 m /s. Wing loading, 84 pound /square feet, 410 kilogram /m2. Thrust /weight, 0.44